大家好，我叫福远方. Hello everyone, my name is Emily, and today we're going to cover lesson 5.1 in the Integrated Chinese Volume 1 textbook. So let's follow along. So we're going to go over these practice questions and answers real quickly from the previous lesson. So we went over 想 and also going over separating the verb and object, so detaching those. So the first question I asked was for you to say, I don't want to go to the movies, using 想. And so your response would be, 我不想去看电影. I don't want to go to the movies, right? 我不想, I don't want to. 去 go to 看电影. I don't want to go watch a movie, is basically what you're saying there. And then question 2 was that detachable component of the verb phrases. So the verb and the object. So 写 is to write, 字 are like characters, words. So writing characters, writing words. So I want you to say writing English words and putting English in the correct order of 写字. So how would you say this? You would say 写英文字, 写英文字, writing English words. And so you could say 我上课的时候常常写英文字. Like during class, I often write English words. Is how you would go about that. So now that we're done with the review, we're going to go over what we are going to do in this quick little video. So we're going to review 以下 and 一点. And then we're also going to go over 饮料, which are drinks. And so without further ado, let's see what we have for 一下 and 一点. And so 一下 and 一点 are a little bit different. They both have somewhat of a similar sentence structure that you can follow, just like that subject verb object order, but you're inputting 一下 or 一点 before that object. And so 一下, which would be the first line of that structure, would be means a little bit once, like do this once or a bit. Now that can be a little bit confusing because 一点 also means a bit, but the meaning of it a bit is a little bit different. So when I said a little bit different, you could say 一点 in that term if you was in that sentence, because that's just the proper way of using 一点. And if we were to say, just a little bit, 一点, right? So let's not confuse ourselves. We're going to go over just some examples. So the first one is 你看一下这张照片. And so that object can be optional depending on how specific you want to be. So like if you are talking with a friend and you say, oh, come look at this. You say, oh, 你看一下, come look at this. But if you want to be more specific and you say, oh, come look at this photo, you say, 你看一下这张照片. Being a little bit more specific on that. You just like, come take a quick look at this. Like a brief look. And then that also goes to the same with this next sentence. 你喝一下这杯咖啡. So you drink a little, like a bit of this drink. And 一杯咖啡 is just a cup of coffee. So it means like once. You could say, oh, 喝一下, just drink a little. A little bit confusing because they kind of have somewhat of the same meaning. It just depends on 一下 is brief, like once, you know what I mean? Like it's a brief moment. And then 一点 or 一点 both are perfectly fine. In your textbook, you would see 一点. And 一点 is just how you would probably hear it often on mainland China. I hear a lot of my Chinese teachers say this, and all of them are from the main teachers, not the tutors, but the main teachers are all mainland Chinese, and so they will use 一点 more often than those who are from Taiwan. And that's just a local preference. You can say 一点, 一点, both are perfectly fine. So this one, 你喝一点咖啡吧. Drink a little bit of this coffee, is what you're saying. That's where you get that a bit into this definition. That is like a literal translation. With 一下, a bit is kind of implied, just like we're going to introduce a little bit of this topic. It's kind of implied because it is brief. It is a brief moment with 一下. 一点 is physically like something specifically a little bit. Is how you would distinguish those two to make it more clear with you. And so what we can do that see that is, oh, 我想买一杯咖啡. That is like something physical. Again, I want to buy a little bit of that coffee. Oh, that's cha. Sorry. 我想买一杯茶. I want to buy a little bit of that tea. I'm sorry. I for some reason expected that to be coffee. So you can see the difference between those. Hopefully that is clarified. I know like eating and eat and all that stuff can be a little bit confusing. So the next topic we're gonna go over is 饮料. And 饮料 means drinks. And so with 饮料, there are two new measure words that we kind of use with the topic of these. And this is 一杯. 一杯 is a cup. And then what you could see in the previous slide over here is 这杯 咖啡. That's a cup of coffee. So, and then 一瓶. And 一瓶 means bottle. So like we will go into the examples real quickly for those, but ping means bottle and 杯 means cup. And so we have all these different drinks. So coffee sounds very, very similar. Nothing too hard with that. And then the next one is Coca-Cola. Again, that sounds very similar to English. It means Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola, right? There's not much variation with that. And then you have 水. And 水 is water. And then on top of that is 冰水. 冰水 means iced water. 冰 is ice. And actually in China, a little bit cultural nitpick here, most Chinese people do not drink iced water. They kind of think of that as very, very Western culture, very different. They actually drink hot water because it calms your center. While 冰水, ice water, mostly just is like, I don't know, I guess it's just refreshing. But that's just a little culture difference you can see there. And then over here we have, these are all teas. China loves their teas. So does Taiwan. I saw so many tea shops and I'm like, oh my gosh, tea overload, and I love it. It's amazing. The tea is amazing. But so cha is tea, just general tea. And then lu cha is green tea. Green tea is very, very common. You can see it, you can get it in America, you can get it in Taiwan and China. Lu cha is everywhere. And then this is re cha right here. That means hot tea. Re means hot. So re cha is hot tea. And then Hong cha is black tea. Black tea. I don't know why I have Hei cha here. Hong cha is black tea. So those are the different kind of teas you have. I don't know why I have Hei cha there. That's not a tea. So how would you use this? How would you use 饮料? So let's say you go to a restaurant and you are ordering a drink. And they're like, 你想喝什么饮料? What do you want to drink? And you would have to use that measure word, right? And then you would have to choose a drink. And so if you were at a restaurant, you would usually say 一杯. I want a cup of this, right? In America, you say, oh, I want water. You could say 我想喝水. Or you could say 我想一杯水. Both are perfectly fine. Both are grammatically correct. So that's kind of how you would use 一杯. Again, you can do that same with 一瓶. 一瓶 is just a bottle, right? 我想喝一瓶可乐. I want to drink a bottle of Coca-Cola, which perfectly fine. I don't really see that many bottles in America. That can be very different globally. So you can say 我想喝一瓶水. 水瓶, not 水瓶, yeah, 水瓶 is a bottle of water. Yeah. And then another instance could be you talking with your friends, right? And you could be like at their house and you're saying, oh, tell me, and they could be asking, oh, 你喜欢喝什么饮料? Same thing, right? Except this is, what do you like to drink? You can say, oh, 我喜欢喝咖啡. I like to drink coffee. 我喜欢喝红茶. I like to drink black tea or 绿茶. You're just replacing that. It's very easy, very easy. You're saying I like to drink and then blah blah blah. So those are how you would use 饮料 and with the two new measure words, 一杯 and 一瓶. So of course we have our practice questions. And so question one is you with your friend, right, Levi, and you're introducing Miss Lee. So you would say 小白我认识李小姐请你 right? So what would you say 请你 introduce you, like I introduce, right? So how would you say that? That's a little bit confusing question. Like you're introducing someone, how would you introduce them in Chinese? What would you say to introduce them, right? Like I'm introducing this person. Please introduce this person. Is basically what you're saying. And then question two is 你喜欢喝什么饮料? Right? We just covered that. It's the same question I was using as an example for if you're with your friends, right? So 你喜欢喝什么饮料? What do you like to drink? And you can go back to the other slides of the videos, the previous parts of this video, and look at that drink list and see, hey, which one do I like to drink? And I know your textbook also has a list of them, so always can reference back to your textbook. But how would you answer these two questions? And then in the next video, we will cover them and see if there are any questions that you have. Thank you all so much. 谢谢你们，下次见，拜拜。